What's up y'all, welcome back to the channel. Finally Volvo Cars confirmed that production of the Volvo EX90, the next generation Volvo flagship, is starting very soon. So let me tell you a bit more about that. November 9th, 2022. I can remember it like yesterday. That was the day that Volvo Cars revealed their next flagship Volvo, the EX90, in Stockholm, Sweden. Back then they probably figured, well, about 12 months and then the first EX90s will be at the customers. But boy, did that not happen. And the reason for all that? Well, one big change that is currently keeping most OEMs quite occupied with their new vehicles. Because the Volvo EX90 is a next generation Volvo with all this autonomous driving, smart things on it. I mean, cars can even fly nowadays. I saw something about that in China or something like that. Either way, there's a thing related to that, to all these developments inside these cars. And that is that the Volvo EX90 is the first Volvo with only one central computer. So no longer dozens of modules of computers inside a car, let's say the current XC90. No, the EX90 will only have one. And apparently that has been quite the struggle for Volvo Cars, but also for other OEMs developing next generation vehicles. And that is the big reason why Volvo Cars delayed production of the Volvo EX90. They needed more time for proper development. You can imagine the EX90 being the flagship vehicle of Volvo Cars. The first EX90s on the road could not have any kind of compromise for quality, for safety. Hence, Volvo decided to delay the Volvo EX90. Now, of course, Volvo also had more or less the luxury to do so. As with the current generation XC90 still on offer, now model year 25, there is no gap in Volvo's model lineup. So in that regard, there was no such thing as a real urgency to come to the market with this unfit car. So Volvo opted to delay EX90 deliveries to ensure their new flagship vehicle would arrive at the customers in a perfect state. Now, so far, so good, or not, right? Because since the delay of the EX90, this car had plenty of relaunches on all Volvo markets. Pretty much to make sure that we would not forget about this new, soon-to-come Volvo flagship. However, the EX90 did turn quiet a little bit. Fortunately enough for Volvo Cars, there was also another car being launched and also hitting the roads rather soon. That was the Volvo EX30. So in that regard, the EX30 really helped Volvo to keep some attention. And then also especially away from the EX90 to maybe also cover things up a bit, how difficult it is to launch this new type of vehicle based on one computer module. But finally, there was white smoke. Because about 2 weeks ago, we got two official inside Volvo sources who confirmed that production of the Volvo EX90 is starting this quarter 2024. That being Mr. Jim Rohn, CEO of Volvo Cars, and also the director of Volvo Cars Germany and Netherlands. And that means that the first EX90s will roll off the production line in the good US Volvo factory in Charleston. Now that also confirms my observations more or less and also expectations. As for example, I recently attended a crash test in the Volvo Car Safety Center in Sweden, where we had an EX30 being crashed with an EX90. Well, for that EX30, you know, that's fine, that is in production. Customers are already driving that car. But for that EX90, that was a pre-production vehicle. And these pre-production vehicles mean that the vehicle is more or less a finished customer product. So seeing that fully finished Volvo EX90 up there, being a pre-production from the Volvo factory in Charleston, that kind of confirmed to me that this news about the EX90 production starting soon would arrive in these weeks, and hence here we are. But yeah, isn't that good news? Now let's talk details about this EX90 production. As I said already, it will be produced in the South Carolina factory in Charleston. That is also for a good reason. OEMs tend to be close to their most important markets with their factories, hence the EX90 factory is also located in the US. And I believe later they will also do production in China, and I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they will maybe do some production in Gothenburg in Sweden as well, but let's see about that. But yeah, the EX90 is currently being built to Volvo's most important market for that vehicle. Hence the first production batches of the EX90 in Charleston will be for customers in the North American market. Kind of obvious, right? However, I did get confirmation that the first European spec Volvo EX90s will arrive here in the European Union around week 40. So they will head to the port of Zeebrugge in Belgium, and from there they will be distributed to all Volvo markets, or maybe the top 5 first. Well, either way, Those important markets will probably get the most EX90s in Europe first. So yeah, around week 40. But that does mean that probably the demo and showroom EX90s in Europe will arrive maybe about 2 or 3 weeks earlier. And that also means then that the first US spec EX90s will be on the road rather soon in the coming, well, let's say 2 months or so. So that's pretty good news. And also finally about time, because boy, it has been a bumpy ride for the EX90 so far, and it's not even at the customers yet. So fingers crossed that the EX90 will not have these similar hiccups as currently the EX30 has, for example, with these updates 1.2 and also 1.3, still giving EX30 customer cars issues like no LTE or no internet signal. When you brake, the radio turns on or off and these weird kind of things. So yeah, let's hope they just make the EX90 perfect as it should be, because it's their flagship car. Though some part of me is also expecting also issues with the first EX90s, because these cars are driving computers nowadays, then especially going to that one central computer module in the EX90. I really hope, but also wonder if all will go well with the first customer cars. But you know, let's stay positive. This is a good news video. So yeah, first EX90s will be on the road rather soon. Now, is there more good news? Yes, there is more good news. Because if you're not really into that EV lifestyle yet, which I can imagine, then there is also good news for you, because the Volvo EX90, the current Volvo flagship vehicle, will also continue in production. So currently model year 25 of the EX90 is also starting in the factories. So that car will also happily continue next to the fully electric EX90 for the coming time. Now, some small notes on that. That will no longer be a diesel, because Volvo built the final diesel Volvo about a few months ago. So you will only be able to opt for the T8 plug-in hybrid engine with the bigger battery, with an updated 3-layer battery pack. So that's just a really good drivetrain if you ask me. And then also the B5 and B6 mild hybrid engine. So with that small 48 volts battery in it, which supports the engine a little bit. That will probably also continue for selected markets. So I'm expecting the US, Canada, China, and maybe some other markets here and there, but for example not for the Netherlands. Over here we only get the T8. So maybe to summarize so far, EX90 production confirmed to be starting very soon. First customer cars heading to the road very soon as well. XC90 will continue for a little bit longer. Then you probably expect me now to round up this video, but no, there is more good news, because over here your number one Volvo source, you know what happened with the oh boy, has more fun news for you, because recently in a podcast, the director of Volvo Car Germany and Netherlands confirmed that later this year there is more Volvo news coming. And with that, he's basically saying there will be a new Volvo revealed later this year. Let's say late Q3, Q4, around that time, I'm expecting that there will be a new Volvo car, or well, revealed. What will it be? Volvo EX60, ES or EV90? I'm thinking about those models. We have a small one now, EX30, we have an EX90, we have a funky Volvo called the EM90. So I'm guessing something like in the 60s, or maybe EV ES90 kind of thing, something like that is on the horizon as well. So pretty cool, right? So that being said, 3 times good news for ya. Yeah, I thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Also subscribe to my channel. Make sure you also share this video. Thank you very much for your support, guys, as always. Let me know what you think about this. Perhaps you have an EX90 in order. Then let me know if you have any cool info about it. Yeah, leave that in the comments. Let me know also what you think. Will the EX60 be revealed this year, or ES, or EV90, or EV60? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below as well. Anyway guys, thank you very much for now. I will see you next week Sunday in a brand new video in the afternoon European time. But for now, thank you and see you later.